Greetings! Have you ever heard or read a poem? You must have. Let's listen to the following poem and see if you can still remember it. Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet and so are you. Remember in program 1, we learned that poetry is one of the 4 genres of literature. Now, if you can recall, you will write a paper 4 of the English examination, which is on literature. Part 1 is about poetry. For this part, there are 2 contextual questions of 20 marks each on 2 different poems. Well, in today's program, we are going to talk about poems. So stay put, don't move, and follow our discussion. Welcome to program 3 of our new English second language video series from NAMCOR. Our lesson for today is poetry. So after watching this lesson, you should be able to read, enjoy, and understand poems. Have you analyzed a poem? Did you discuss a poem in class? What is poetry? Well, it is a type of writing where words are arranged based on their meaning, sound and rhythm to share ideas and feelings. Let's look at the poem again that I read in the beginning of today's lesson. Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet and so are you. This is an example of a poem. Though this poem is clearly for enjoyment, you will need to analyze poems in your English class and in the examination. So please pay attention. We are going to be talking about several things you will find in poetry. Let's start with the voice or speaker. Who is speaking in the poem? The speaker in a poem could be the poet or a character the poet created. A line. This is a single line of text from left to right. Then the stanza. This is a group of lines separated by a space. Then we have rhyme scheme. The pattern of rhymes within the poem. So let's read the following poem. The title, I Met a Dragon Face to Face by Jack Prelutsky. I met a dragon face to face. The year when I was 10, I took a trip to outer space. I braved a pirate's den. I wrestled with a wicked troll and fought a great white shark. I trailed a rabbit down a hole. I hunted for a snark. I stowed aboard a submarine. I opened magic doors. I traveled in time machine and searched for dinosaurs. I climbed atop a giant's head. I found a pot of gold. I did all this in books I read when I was 10 years old. Did you think about who the voice of speaker is in this poem? Let's now find clues in the poem. Some of the clues I see is the word I. Others are more specific. This person is saying all these amazing things he did. Met a dragon, took a trip to outer space, wrestled with a wicked troll. Does it sound like things that he really did, or is it just his imagination? Realistically, he did not do all of these things. But it says here at the bottom, I did all this in books I read when I was 10 years old. The actual answer is at the end of the poem. All the adventures he did when he read books. Therefore, the speaker is a person remembering when he was young and that he is telling the story here. So the next thing we are going to look at are the lines. What is a line in poetry again? It is a single line of text from left to right. It does not go the same way that a book does, where the sentences just keep going. Where you find a sentence starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop or question mark. It just goes from left to right. It's one line. Some poems do not have any punctuation at the end, and some poems do. It's all up to the poets how they want to do it. I met a dragon face to face. This is one line. So this poem has 1, 2, 3, 16 lines in total. In books, we think in sentences and paragraphs. A group of sentences are paragraphs. In poetry, the groups of lines are called stanzas. We can see a group of lines here and then a space followed by a group of lines again. This poem has 8 lines grouped together and then again 8 lines grouped together. That makes 2 stanzas. The last thing we are going to talk about is rhyme scheme. You have probably heard the word rhyme before. Have you recognized rhyming words before? What about the word scheme? All it means is the pattern of rhymes within the poem, where the rhymes are and what the pattern is. When we look at this poem, we can actually find rhymes at the end of the lines. So let's look at some of these. Okay, face and 10, they do not rhyme, but face and space do. So I will highlight them in yellow. Then I'm going down to den. 10 and den rhyme, yes. So I will highlight them in green. Then troll and hole, I will highlight them in turquoise. Lastly, shark and snark also rhyme and I will highlight them in purple. So when we look at the pattern, we can label them with a letter. The first rhyme will be A, so face will be A, then 10. Doesn't rhyme with face, but space does. So that is also A. Then 10 will be B because it is a new rhyme. 10 rhymes with den, which is also B. Then troll does not rhyme with any of these, so it is once again a new rhyme. So it will be C. Shark does not rhyme with troll, but hole does. So hole is also C. And shark is a new rhyme and will be D. And snark rhymes with shark, so it will also be a D. We have A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, which is pretty common rhyme scheme. Sometimes you will find poems that will have A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B throughout the poem. Or sometimes you will get A, B, B, C, C, D, D. These are all parts of a poem. And there you have it. I hope this lesson have helped you to identify the different parts of a poem. Shall we now summarize what we have learned for today? Poetry is a type of writing where words are arranged based on their meaning, sound and rhythm to share ideas and feelings. We looked at 4 parts of a poem: voice or speaker, line, stanza, rhyme scheme. The voice or speaker in a poem could be the poet or a character the poet created. The line is a single line of text from left to right, similar to a sentence in a book. However, a line can have punctuation or not at the end of the line. The stanza is a group of lines separated by space. In books, a group of sentences are called a paragraph. Now in poetry, a group of lines are called a stanza. And then lastly, rhyme scheme is the pattern of rhymes within the poem. The words at the end of each line can rhyme with one another and form a scheme, such as A, B, B, C, C, or another rhyme scheme, A, B, CD, CD, and etc. And this concludes our third program in the JSC English Second Language series. I hope you have learned something new from it. Thank you for watching. And from me, Imogen, goodbye.